Welcome to Haunt Narratives, listeners. Tonight, we're taking a deep dive into a story that's both chilling and perplexing. The death of Elisa Lam.
It's a case that has fascinated and horrified people for over a decade.
Yeah. Imagine checking into a hotel, a historic one at that, with all these eerie stories swirling around it.
Right.
And then you just vanish.
Poof, gone.
Only to be found weeks later in the hotel's rooftop water tank.
It sounds like something straight out of a horror movie.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But this is real life. This is a true story.
And what makes this case so unsettling, so terrifying, are all the unanswered questions. We've got some sources here from Wikipedia and an article from All That's Interesting, both detailing Elisa Lam's disappearance and ultimately her death. And we're going to try to piece together what happened.
We're going to dive deep into the details, examine the evidence, and explore the various theories.
Now, this deep dive is not for the faint of heart.
Definitely not. If you're easily spooked, you might want to skip this one.
For those of you brave enough to stick around, buckle up. This is going to be a dark ride. Let's start with Elisa Lam herself. Who was she?
She is a 21-year-old Canadian student visiting Los Angeles. Seemed like a typical West Coast trip. She was posting pictures online from the San Diego Zoo. Seemed to be enjoying herself.
But underneath it all, there was something else going on. She was battling bipolar disorder and depression.
And that's not just a side note.
Not at all. It's a crucial piece of this whole puzzle.
Because bipolar disorder, it can manifest in unpredictable ways.
Yeah.
Periods of mania, deep depression, sometimes even psychosis.
Absolutely. And she was on a number of medications to manage her condition. We're talking Wellbutrin, lamotrigine, quetiapine, dextrin, spansol, and venlafaxine. A whole cocktail of medications.
And each one with its own set of potential side effects.
Exactly. So if you're not taking them exactly as prescribed, or if you suddenly stop taking them.
It can have a huge impact on your mental state.
A huge impact.
Okay. So we have this element of internal turmoil already at play as she checks into the Cecil Hotel on January 26, 2013.
And this is where the story takes a truly sinister turn. Because the Cecil Hotel is not just a backdrop, it's practically a character in this whole thing. And it's got a dark aura all its own.
An aura. More like a rap sheet.
That too. We're talking about a place with a history of suicides, murders, a place that housed some of the most notorious serial killers in American history.
Like Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, right?
That one and only. And Jack Unterweger, the Vienna Strangler.
I mean, it's mind-boggling that this place was still operating as a hotel.
I know.
And it was even designated a historic landmark. It's like an invitation for darkness,
It certainly adds to the creepiness. There's no doubt about that. So Elisa checks in, and initially they put her in a shared room.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but after her roommates complained about her odd behavior, they moved her to a private room.
What kind of odd behavior?
The details are a bit vague. But there were notes left for her roommates, like, get out, kind of thing.
That's creepy.
And she was locking her door, demanding a password for entry. Very paranoid.
Makes you wonder if the place itself was feeding into her anxieties.
It's possible.
And it sounds like there were other signs that something wasn't right.
Oh, yeah. Just days before she disappeared, she was escorted out of a live taping of Conan in Burbank because of disruptive behavior.
Oh, wow. So we have this young woman struggling with her mental health in a hotel notorious for its dark past and exhibiting increasingly erratic behavior. And then, on January 31st, 2013, she just vanishes.
No trace.
Her parents, who'd been talking to her every day, they knew something was wrong.
Immediately reported her missing.
And then the investigation took a turn for the truly bizarre when the police released the security footage from the day she disappeared.
Ah, yes. The infamous elevator footage.
That's where this story really caught the attention of, well, everyone. The internet sleuths, the armchair detectives, everybody.
It went viral, and I gotta admit, even watching it now, it's incredibly eerie.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see Elisa in the elevator, and her behavior is off, to say the least.
She's pushing all the buttons, peering out into the hallway like someone's after her, then she's hiding in the corner.
And then she's gesturing wildly, like at something or nothing.
It's like watching a silent horror film unfold.
It makes your mind race.
Yeah.
What's she seeing? What's she thinking?
Was she having a psychotic episode? Was someone actually chasing her?
Or, given the history of the Cecil, was it something more supernatural?
And then, the most horrifying discovery of all. On February 19th, a maintenance worker's investigating low water pressure complaints about discolored water.
Oh, God.
He finds Elisa's body in one of the rooftop water tanks.
That detail alone, it's the stuff of nightmares. How did she even get up there? The roof was supposed to be Alarmed, restricted.
Right. And how do you end up in a water tank? It's like something out of a horror movie, but this was real life. It's a question that has haunted this case from the beginning.
Yeah.
And we'll try to unpack some of those logistics right after this break.
All right, so let's try and unpack some of the logistics here.
Okay.
We know the roof was alarmed.
And those water tanks themselves, they were heavy, cumbersome.
Yeah.
Not something you could just easily, stumble into.
Right.
So how did Elisa Lam end up in one?
It's a question that really just hangs over this whole case.
It does.
Some people have suggested maybe she was sleepwalking.
Sleepwalking.
Yeah, but that seems almost impossible.
I mean, when you consider the effort it would take just to get to the roof.
And then into the tank.
Exactly.
Right.
And the autopsy, it complicates things even further.
How so?
Well, it ruled her death as an accidental drowning, with bipolar disorder listed as a significant contributing factor.
Okay. But there are holes in that explanation.
There are.
Like, how did she get access to the roof in the first place?
Right. The hotel staff, they testified that the area was restricted.
Alarmed?
Was there some kind of security lapse? Did someone let her up there?
And if so, why?
Exactly. And then there's the toxicology report.
Okay.
That adds another layer to the whole thing.
What did it show?
No illegal drugs, no alcohol in her system.
Oh, wait.
But the levels of her prescribed medications, they indicated either under medication
Okay.
or a recent cessation of medication.
So, meaning her mental state, potentially, could have been extremely unstable,
Absolutely.
leading to erratic and unpredictable behavior.
Hmm.
But could that alone explain how she ended up in the water tank?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, even if we accept that she was experiencing a psychotic episode, it doesn't fully explain the mechanics of it all.
Of reaching the tank.
Inside.
Yeah. It's almost as if she was drawn there.
Drawn there.
Like something was beckoning her to that rooftop, to that specific tank.
And here's another chilling detail.
What's that?
While the autopsy, it didn't find any evidence of sexual assault.
Okay.
A full examination wasn't possible because of the body's decomposition.
So there are details that are just unknown.
Unknown.
We're left with this unsettling gap in our understanding. Did something sinister happen on that rooftop? Did someone else play a role in her death?
The police investigation, they ultimately concluded it was an accidental drowning.
Okay.
But some aspects of the case, they remain unclear. For instance, Elisa's phone,
Yeah.
never recovered. Not in her room, not with her body.
Just vanished.
Gone.
Oh.
And even stranger, her Tumblr blog, it continued to be updated after her death.
That's beyond creepy. I mean, it suggests that someone had access to her belongings, someone who knew her passwords.
Right.
Someone who might have had a reason to make it look like she was still alive.
These discrepancies, they fuel all the darker theories surrounding the case. Was there more to her death than we know? Was someone covering their tracks?
And then, of course, there's the Cecil Hotel itself.
Looming over everything.
His looming presence in the story.
Right.
Some people believe that the hotel is cursed.
Cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A magnet for tragedy.
A place where darkness just lingers and feeds on the vulnerable. It's certainly a tempting narrative, especially when you look at the hotel's history, all the disturbing incidents that have happened there.
Yeah.
But even if we dismiss the supernatural,
Right.
the Cecil's reputation, it definitely casts a long shadow over Elisa Lam's death.
It's almost as if the hotel itself becomes a character
A character.
in this whole story. A malevolent force that somehow played a part in her demise.
It's easy to see why people draw those conclusions. The Cecil becomes this symbol of urban decay, a physical manifestation of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of any city.
And that elevator footage, it's so unsettling.
It is.
So ambiguous.
Right.
It just amplifies those feelings of unease. It's like a glimpse into a nightmare.
A window into those final moments before she disappeared.
It's a reminder that sometimes real life can be far more terrifying than anything we can imagine.
Absolutely. Now let's shift gears a bit and look at the cultural impact of Elisa Lam's story.
Okay.
I mean, this isn't just a cold case.
Right.
It's become a cultural phenomenon.
It has.
A modern-day urban legend
Yeah.
that continues to fascinate and horrify people around the world.
I think it speaks to our collective fascination with the unexplained,
The unexplained.
with the darkness that exists just beyond our understanding. We're drawn to stories like this, even though they make us uncomfortable, because they force us to confront the limits of our own rationality.
And the internet has played a huge role in amplifying that fascination. The elevator footage going viral, all the online forums dedicated to dissecting every detail.
Countless Theories.
Interpretations.
Yeah, it's like a digital campfire.
A digital campfire.
Where people gather to share their fears, their suspicions, their attempts to make sense of the senseless.
It's a testament to the power of storytelling, especially when that story taps into our primal fears of the unknown, of the vulnerable spaces that exist in our supposedly safe and ordered world.
Elisa Lam's case, it's been referenced in all sorts of things. TV shows like Castle, How to Get Away with Murder.
Right. Both featuring storylines with eerie similarities to her death.
And a lot of people believe it inspired Ryan Murphy's American Horror Story Hotel.
With its focus on a haunted hotel in Los Angeles.
The themes of isolation, paranoia.
It's as though her story has seeped into our collective consciousness, becoming a modern-day cautionary tale.
About the dangers that lurk in the shadows.
Right.
The fragility of life.
And the mysteries that may forever remain unsolved.
It's hard to shake this feeling that Elisa Lam's story is more than just a tragic incident.
Oh, absolutely.
It's become a modern parable,
Right.
A chilling reminder that even in our super hyper-connected world, some mysteries remain impenetrable.
And it's fascinating how this case has gone beyond just true crime.
Yeah.
Into the realm of urban legend.
It really has.
It's been analyzed and dissected and reinterpreted so many times.
Countless times.
And each time it just adds another layer to this chilling narrative.
And it's that ambiguity, that lack of a definitive answer that I think keeps people coming back.
It keeps us captivated.
Yeah.
We're left grappling with this unsettling possibility.
What's that?
That sometimes there is no logical explanation,
Yeah.
no satisfying resolution.
It really challenges our need for order.
For a reason.
We want to believe that every event has a cause.
A perpetrator, a motive.
Yeah.
But the Elisa Lam case, it just defies all of that.
And maybe that's why it's so enduring.
Maybe.
It forces us to confront the limits of our own understanding.
To acknowledge that there are forces at play in the universe that we may never fully comprehend.
It's a stark reminder that the world can be a very chaotic and unpredictable place.
Where darkness can really lurk in the most unexpected corners.
Even in a seemingly ordinary hotel.
Exactly.
So we've explored the facts, the theories, the cultural impact.
We have.
But ultimately, the Elisa Lam case, it remains an open wound.
A chilling testament to the enduring power of the unknown.
It serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder to be vigilant, to be aware of our surroundings.
And to never underestimate the darkness that can reside within seemingly ordinary places.
So what can we take away from this deep dive into the unsettling death of Elisa Lam? Perhaps a renewed appreciation for the fragility of life.
For sure.
A heightened awareness of the shadows that exist just beyond our perception.
And maybe, just maybe, it's a reminder that some stories are meant to remain unsolved.
Yeah.
To linger in our mind.
To make us question and wonder.
And to confront those unsettling mysteries that lie at the heart of the human experience.
Well, thank you for joining us on this journey into the dark heart of the Elisa Lam case. We encourage you to continue exploring this. Delve deeper into the Cecil Hotel's history. Watch that chilling elevator footage and draw your own conclusions. But be warned, once you enter this labyrinth of mystery and dread, you may never fully escape its grasp.